Tonight I'm trying to figure out how to cut out my Akumi plywood for the aft deck. Here's a half that's port side. This black stuff in here is some foam. I don't know if it'll help me any with flotation. There's a little bit of styrofoam glued down there in the bottom of the bilge there. Anyway, I'm still using the same poster board that I had for the foredeck, which we've got part of that on now, and you can see that I've got this other one over here on the other side for the port side, and it's not quite right. I'm going to do the same thing that I'm doing back here. Just cut out little pieces until you get it to all fit in around all the edges. And part of that transom back there's got a slight little curve to it. It's also got a bevel. I'm not quite sure. Well, we'll just take the bevel tool and tip the jigsaw to an angle to catch that bevel back there. And this is supposed to be a watertight compartment, so I took all kinds of little pieces and cut them out to fit in between the frames back there, and you can see all the tape marks back close in there. Those all each little individual pieces of paper or poster board that are fitting in there to make those little parts that'll go in there. Now, my ability to transfer that to the plywood and cut it out remains to be seen, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, I was able to transfer my pattern onto the plywood and got it cut out. I'm not 100% happy with this. I tried to cut this straight edge with the circular saw and it ripped out a couple little pieces. But the plans call for there to be a trim piece that goes along the edge here. And the other thing that happened is I cut it short just a hair right there. And it's just a 30-second or so. Back along the rest of it, we're fine. And then we did get those pieces cut out along the frames. And I made a mistake with the bevel. It's not long enough. But I'm painting this so I can fill the little places. The one screw hole here that I missed, where I missed the frame, there's nothing under there. So I'm going to thicken up some epoxy and cover my sins. Real tight along the king plank, and really we got really a fairly good fit along the transom here. There's just this little gap, but a little thickened epoxy in there will go a long way. So I think we're pretty good there. Just got half of it. Still got to do the other half. And there's the plans call for a piece to go along those frames over there too. Just a little thin piece of cedar, and that could go a long way in neatening that up too. So we may do that. So anyway, that's how we're going to do the after deck. All right. This is my forward bow cleat. This bronze. I got this, I don't remember where I got it, maybe eBay, but is used, and it's kind of pitted in places, but some of that I kind of like, but they're not very clean. So I'd used some Barkeeper's Friend on it and scrubbed it up pretty good. And I got a lot of the patina off of there to start with, but then I thought, I'm going to dip this thing in some Diet Coke and see what that looks like. See if it does anything. Kind of in the screw holes there, that was kind of hard to clean out. So I just put this in here. I'm going to let this sit in here for an hour or so and see what happens. I can't leave anything alone. I have to come mess with it and look at it and everything. And then, so like after about 20 or 30 minutes, it didn't look like it was doing anything. But then now I kind of forgot about it for a while, and it's been about 2.5, maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I just pulled this out of here and looked at it a second ago. Check this out. Definitely cleaning it up. Definitely cleaning that up. So, look at the difference in that. Still got that little bit of corrosion down there in the screw hole. Well, that's both ends. It's not perfect, but sure is cleaner than it was when I got it. Some of those pits, or I just don't know that those are going to get clean. And I actually don't know if I care. Gives it a little character. I think I kind of like it. It's in pretty good shape. Well, I have to say that the Coke worked, so that is an answer. I didn't try baking soda and vinegar. That's another solution that's supposed to work. But anyway, I guess it's good for now. Time to put it on the boat. I guess I'm not happy not being a perfectionist. I figured if I'm going to put this cleat on here, I ought to do it right and just get it as clean as I can. So I looked at some video on YouTube, and apparently vinegar and salt, that's the answer. So I've mixed it up in this measuring cup, and I put in enough salt to where I didn't think I could dissolve anymore. So I don't know if that's right or not, but anyway, I got a little toothbrush, and I've kind of been cleaning this thing up a little bit, and it's getting more of the stuff out of the areas where it was pitted, and it's really cleaning it up. Yeah, I'm way happier with that. It's still got places where it's pitted, but it's so much cleaner than it was. I think that's just going to be it. I'm getting ready to put it on the deck. All right, see you next time. Well, after I got done messing with it, I finally rinsed it off with some nice warm water and dried it off real good, and I think this is going to be great. And there it is when I first mounted it on the foredeck. So we got this forward cleat on, got it all clean. I had this deck on some 32 screws in and realized that I was through bolting this. I've been thinking about through bolting it the whole time. I had to take all the screws out of here, and then I got it mounted. So it is through bolted, and I think you could pick the boat up with it. Let's don't. So now I'm using this handy dandy little tool my wife got me for Christmas. It's a little ratchet driver. Putting all these 31 screws back in. Well, they're going pretty easy though, because no, that's not the right size. What's he doing in there? We did use some axle grease. Somebody suggested that you might put a little grease or lubricant on the screws, especially when you're going into oak. I just had some of this laying around. It's stuff that I'd used. I'm not going to sit it down on here. When I was repacking wheel bearings on my trailer, worked like a charm. You may be able to see it's on there, that red on the screw. So anyway, trying to keep it off of the top of the wood. Just go right in there. This side went out way easier than that side. something to be said for doing it before. Sitting down better here on the shear line. Didn't have any of those gaps or issues like I had on the other side. It just went out really nice. I got it cut out this morning. That went pretty good. I did use a jigsaw to cut this edge. It just went really slow. It just stayed on the line. Even so, I had to take the plane and trim off a couple little places just to get it to fit up nice and neat in there. Yeah, it's just nice and neat. I even already got the sander on here and got a nice smooth edge that goes against the shear strake, so that's cool. There's a piece of trim, there's supposed to be a piece of trim that comes up on the edge. It'll cover up this little gap, and I'll probably fill that in with some thickened epoxy or something when I put that on there. It'll serve two purposes. It'll seal it up, and it'll glue that trim piece too. Ain't that slick? It'd have been another half hour or so if I was just using a screwdriver. Since these were already in here, I'm able to get them even all the way seated, all the way down. I broke this one off. Remember, I broke this one off over here, and I broke this one off. That's why I started looking for the wheel bearing grease. Had to get the drill and drill out the piece that I busted off in there. And it's still ugly now. It's got I have to fill it in with some thickened epoxy probably. But I'm going to cover up all these screw holes anyway. I had one over here that I missed, and I had one back here that I had my finger stick under here. Oh, that's nice. Unbelievable. Yeah, so I drilled my finger. What an idiot. Don't do that. It didn't help. I still drilled through it. Alright. Well, I guess that's all of them until I dumped them all down the bilge. Hope I can get those out of there. Alright, see you next time.